What's going on, everybody? You are now tuned in to the Triple M Boxing Channel, your source for all y'all boxing needs. And today we got a very special guest to break down this crazy fight. We got Mr. GC George Chen Boxing up in here. What's cracking,
What's
bro?
good? What's going on, guys?
Nothing much, man. He's fresh from a fight, and as you can see, he's still looking fresh as hell. Nothing, still pretty, nothing at all, man. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But this weekend, man, we got a really big fight card in my opinion. It's one that's a lot of people are not happy about. Well, I'm not sure if they're not happy about, but it's gonna be a good fight regardless. The big fight is Saul Canelo Alvarez versus the man's Jaime Munguia.
Jaime Munguia, man. Break it down.
So we're gonna break that down here. Should we go over the undercard as well?
Yes. So
Who's fighting on the undercard?
So it's Fabian Maidana. Do you have the? Can you put the list? So Maidana's little bro.
Mm-hmm.
Getting I forgot the names. Hold on.
Yeah, he's fighting Mario Barrios.
Oh, okay, that should be a good fight. Barrios is solid.
Yeah, so that's the co-main, and then who's the one beforehand?
So before that, it's Brandon Figueroa versus Jesse Magdaleno.
Oh, that's gonna be fireworks.
Mr. Figueroa, man. I got Mr. Figueroa. I think he's his pressure, and I think his pressure is just relentless, man. The way he beat Magsayo.
Yeah, bro. Those guys bang. Like this is a. I guess this card is like, yeah, it's for the Mexican fans, eh? Cinco de Mayo. Oh yeah.
So I can't wait. Yeah. I know Figueroa is going to show out, and he should get that title shot. Maybe he gets in the way if he moves up. But Barrios and Maidana too, man. I think that's going to be fireworks because they're you know how Maidana fights, and Barrios always brings it. So
yeah. Barrios always brings it. The guy, like he's in there. He's in there to fight, and he good pressure. Like throws a lot of punches. Like it'll be a good fight to watch. Good co-main event for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, the fans are winning in this one, man. Because dude, there could be potentially a knockout in each and every single one of these fights, and it's all going to be fireworks.
For sure.
I don't know. We'll get there. We'll get there to the. Actually, let's go there now, bro. Strengths. Let's go to the main event: Canelo versus Jaime Munguia, man. Keys. Not to be biased. Obviously, I know you love Canelo, but what do you think? Let's start with the keys to victory. Let's start with Munguia. What do you guys think he needs to do to pull this upset?
Yo, I think because
there's
Munguia's because Munguia is young, right? Like he's gonna come in. He's got a lot of energy. He throws, like, from what I've seen, he throws good volume. You know, he keeps the pressure going, right? But at the same time, that's kind of like tailor-made for Canelo. You know what I mean? Like the way I see it going is going to be like Munguia is gonna probably win some rounds, and especially in front of like everyone's eyes. We're gonna see he's putting on the pressure in the early rounds. But to win a round against Canelo, like actually by the judges, that's gonna be a different story. But I think like a couple rounds, like he'll set into a good rhythm, and he'll put that pace on, throw those punches. Canelo's gonna do his thing. Canelo takes a little bit of time to kind of come alive.
Yeah.
The longer that fight goes on, like the more dangerous it's gonna get for Munguia. And I don't see Munguia being able to knock out Canelo. The guy's got a granite chin. Triple G couldn't do it, right? All these big guys couldn't do it. I think Munguia's a little too young right now. So like it'll be a good fight, but I think if he wants to win, he's gonna have to. I don't know if there's a way for him to win, bro.
What do you think? What does he need to do to win?
Man, so like what GC said, like Munguia, he's known for his aggressive fighting, right?
Yeah.
He has a high output rate, and he tends to like, I would say, overwhelm his opponents with volume, right? Like there was one fight I was watching earlier against Johnson. Yeah. That was like a good example where Munguia really just put relentless pressure on a guy, which led the whole fight to be stopped due to like I think it was a lip injury.
Yeah,
on Johnson.
Yeah, that uppercut.
Yeah.
Split it.
Right.
Yeah.
So he was like always up in his face, right? And yeah, like you said, he is younger. He has that reach advantage, which he uses, I'd say pretty effectively just to maintain like the pressure and distance and whatnot. But I think if he really needs, if he is gonna win this fight, he has to win it just round by round, round by round. Like GC said, there's no way Canelo's getting knocked out.
No,
I don't think so, but we never know, man, because this is boxing. All it could take is one. Look what
Yes.
happened with Haney. Right?
Yeah,
I never thought
exactly.
that would happen, right?
Yeah. You always got a puncher's chance, but it's really hard to bet that against Canelo because it's like you got a guy who like Canelo has like in boxing right now. Like let's talk current resumes. Who else has one that can stack up to what Canelo has accomplished, right? It's not like he has not seen anything that Munguia is going to bring. He's seen it all.
Yep.
So you got a young guy, fresh, who isn't as seasoned as Canelo. Like I said, the more that fight goes on, Canelo figures him out, and I just don't see him winning rounds in the later half of the fight either. He's gonna need to stack up a lot of rounds early, and like definitively early. Like he's gonna need a lot, like those first 7-8 rounds as much as he can, because as soon as it goes past a certain, like Canelo will start stepping on the gas. He always starts stepping on later half of the fight, and if we don't get a stoppage from Canelo, then we're probably going to go to the scorecards, and Munguia is going to need a lot of rounds early to pull off that decision win. And it's hard. I think it's hard to get a decision against Canelo too. Like
100%.
as it is, we all know about the Triple G fights and whatnot. Like everyone has their opinions, right? So yeah.
I agree, man. I think with both of you, I think Canelo being a slow starter, I think Munguia needs to bank those rounds. But
Yeah,
maybe
he's got to bank them.
if you get the first 6, then they'll make it a closer fight, right?
Yes.
But I think he does in the early rounds. He needs to stay active. Actually, the whole fight he needs to stay active and keep throwing punches. One thing I give Munguia is he is a volume puncher and he's a true Mexican because he can hit a lot, but if he gets hit, what does he do? He hits you. Exactly. So I think that's gonna be his downfall, but it can also be something that keeps him in the fight, or hey, potentially win him the fight if he's gonna win. I think that's the only way that you beat Canelo is you just have to out volume him. Yes, be more active. You're not gonna knock him down or knock him out. So just outpoint him, and I think that's the key for Munguia.
Yeah, and he's got to stay disciplined because Canelo, I'm sure Canelo can put this guy out if he gets a little too wild, gets a little too emotional, throws too much when he shouldn't. And Canelo's good at setting those traps. He'll set that trap, and then next thing you know, bing, it's done.
Well, let's move on. Keys to victory, which pretty much already said. Munguia, how about Canelo? What does he need to do to win this fight?
Bro, I think whatever he wants.
It's gonna be that easy.
I truly think because Canelo has fought so many different guys already, and I just don't think Munguia is bringing anything freshly new to the table. Canelo has fought plenty of volume punchers. He's fought heavy-handed fighters. Like he's fought Triple G. Triple G couldn't hurt him. He's fought guys like Kovalev. Fought all the big tall guys. And Canelo, when he lost to Bivol, I'm sure he's making adjustments to that height and reach. Right? He's got so much experience that you just can't mess with that kind of experience, that pedigree that he has currently. So I think for Canelo, it's just gonna be once he finds his range and he sets up whatever he wants to set up, he's gonna get those counter punches that he's always looking for. He's a great counter puncher. He's gonna be in front of Munguia the whole night. I know he's gonna come forward and stay in front of him. He's gonna do his high roll, like all that. And he's going to catch Munguia in between those volume punches. He's going to catch him. And then we're going to see how Munguia's chin holds up. I think this is going to be a good, he's going to be checking his chin. Yeah. And we'll be able to see. And yeah, for me, I feel like Canelo wins this by whatever he wants. Like if he really wants that stoppage knockout, I think he'll get it later into the fight. It won't be too early. Or if he wants it to go all 12 rounds and like, you know, give the young kid like a good schooling. I believe he does that too. Like I know I'm a Canelo tard or whatever they want to call it.
Hey, we'll do another a post fight breakdown. We'll see. We'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
But what do you think, Marv? What do you think Canelo needs to do to win?
Man, so it's literally everything GC said, man. Like GC hit it right on the nail, right? So like Canelo is known for his insane counterpunching, insane head movement, and his body shots too. His body work, unreal, right? The other thing too is his ring IQ. One of the best in all of boxing, right? Like a good example. Well, was it the first or I think it was the second with the rematch with Triple G? He showed really good footwork, amazing defensive skills, amazing counter striking to win that victory. And even with like heavier opponents, against like what's his name, Kovalev, out of weight class, moved up to light heavyweight, knocked the man's out. Right, so he hasn't seen anything new, unless Jaime Munguia and Freddie Roach can come up with a completely brand new, different game plan. I think Canelo's going to take it.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah, pretty much everything that you guys said. I think his experience will win the fight, but I think his counterpunching will and his body shots will actually. That's what he needs to do to get this victory. Munguia, as we know, he's going to come forward and throw his volume. What do you need to do to take that away, right? You need to dig the body or need to make him think that there's always going to be something that's going to come, and that's the counter punching.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, it's going to be harder for him to get this W than what people think. People think he's just going to dog walk Munguia. I don't think so. I think Munguia is a bigger guy. I think he's strong, although not stronger, but I think he's strong enough to actually, to actually fight back against Canelo. Now, do we know how long he's going to last? We don't, but I actually think it's going to be a way closer fight or way tougher fight for Canelo than a lot of people think.
I agree to an extent too. Like, although I said, like, I think Canelo takes this any way he wants, it's not an easy, like, walk through this guy, but like he's going to work for it. I still think his experience and everything will give him the edge, and he'll still manage to do whatever he wants and get through it. But yeah, like even if he's looking for that knockout or that stoppage, it's not going to happen quick. It's not going to happen early. I think you never know. Like with boxing, like about that Garcia fight. I was fucking telling everyone, I'm like, yo, everyone keeps saying, yo, Haney's going to completely mop the floor with him, and I'm like, yo,
I thought he was going to.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, I get it, but at the same time, I was telling everyone, like, bro, there's 12 rounds. All Garcia had to do was land that magical left hook of his at one point, right? And that's how boxing works. Like, yo, as soon as he did, the whole course of the fight starts to change. And I'm just like, so at the same time, like, we can't say for sure that, like, Munguia can't catch Canelo with something while Canelo's cold, or like Canelo won't catch Munguia with something early. Like, it could end early, but I think, like, in terms of the odds, it's probably gonna be later half of the fight. That's when that fight's really gonna come alive.
Okay.
I'll send you money for.
Well, obviously, you guys already have your picks. I'm not even gonna ask you who your picks, but let me ask you this, both of you. I just want to hear, how do you guys predict this fight will, like, how, like, round per round till the end? How is it going to go? GC.
Round one comes out. I think it's going to, like, I want to see the body, like, I would have to say, like, we'll have to see the body language of Munguia, because this is the biggest magnitude of a fight for him, right? So if he comes out a little jittery, right? Maybe he comes out a little gun shy because he's like respects Canelo too much, gives him too much respect. That's not good. Then we're gonna be looking at a whole different fight. But if he comes out and he's like, I'm in there with any other guy, like a guy in there can be beat, Then he comes out and he comes out strong, comes out fast. I think he can potentially take rounds 1, 2, 3, right? I think if he can use his range, use his reach. Like Canelo's not going to be easy to hit. I see Canelo slipping and sliding. Like Canelo won't throw too much in the early fight. I believe in those first couple rounds. Munguia doesn't really win like the rounds convincingly, as in like he's landing too much, but he wins off activity, off being busy, off trying to take the fight to Canelo, and Canelo kind of taking a back seat, downloading, doing Canelo things, right? And not throwing too much. And then I think we'll see a momentum shift, probably rounds 4, 5, 6. Like it starts to look a little bit more competitive. Both guys are start open up, and that's going to be like, okay, is Canelo starting to dig the body? Is Munguia like feeling the pressure now of like being in there with a guy like Canelo with that experience? How well is he holding up to the power of Canelo? Is he shocked by it? And then the later that fight goes on, around 7, 8, 9, I think Canelo starts to really start upping that tempo. Now it's not just like his slickness. Now he's putting his punches together. But Canelo fights in spurts. Like he's not a volume puncher. He puts his combinations, like he's really methodical with his combinations. He's not going to throw like 10 punch combinations, but he will start ramping up. And then I see something big happening round 9. I think round 9, I see something big happening. And then I like whether that's a knockdown or just a good like a shot that rocks Munguia at the end of round 9 or something like that. And then we'll see, like if Canelo steps on it from then on, I think he can get a stoppage between 10 to 11. Otherwise, like it goes to round 12, I think Canelo kind of like if it goes to round 12, I think that it will prove that one, Munguia is tough enough, and Munguia now, like at that point, if you're young Munguia, you got this chance to fight the boss, right? Like Canelo, I would say, is like the final boss. At the very least, you're gonna make sure you survive round 12, right? So I think if it goes to round 12, it'll go all 12 rounds. There won't be no stoppage in the 12th round, I think. So it'll go they'll finish the fight. It'll go to decision, and I think it'll be closer than people think, just because of the early rounds. But it depends how the judges score. I think Canelo wins this most likely by decision. Yeah.
Bar.
Ooh, man. So I'm with you there with the first half of the fight. From like 1 to 4, 5, 6, they're just gonna be downloading. Nothing crazy is gonna happen, right? And in the middle rounds, that's when they're both gonna really start turning up. But here's where I disagree with you, GC. And here's gonna be the interesting one. Okay, and I'll tell you why I think this. I think Munguia might be able to take the W. Number one is because he was able to put Ryder out completely. But I'm not saying that he's gonna knock Canelo out. That's not gonna happen. You never know. But
yeah,
I think Munguia might be coming out on top from this fight, just based off of that one little.
That's a really good
fight.
point. I'll come back to this right after.
Right.
Yeah,
So I think instead of the decision going to Canelo, I think it's gonna go to Munguia. Stefan, you.
Man, I can't wait until we do the post-fight breakdown on this one and see who's freaking wrong. But same with you guys, rounds 1 to 4. I just see Canelo just trying to land the counter, just downloading, not really putting much effort, and I just see Munguia just being more active. Probably not Canelo, but he just looks busier. I think he's going to bank those rounds unless it's a robbery. But and once it gets to the middle rounds, 6 to let's say 5 to like 10, that's when we see fireworks. Canelo's going to put on the pressure, but Munguia is not going to back down. Yeah. He's the type to fight back. He's probably going to get clipped a lot. Will I be surprised if he gets knocked down? Probably not. But one thing's for sure is you're going to see fireworks from the middle rounds to the end. Going to be pretty close in my opinion. but I'm gonna lean towards Canelo just because he's probably gonna get the knockdown because he's probably gonna either catch Munguia, knock him down, or give him the Bambi legs. But nonetheless, Munguia is still gonna fight back and throw his volume because his best defense is his offense, and that's what he's gonna keep doing until he's out or he wins, right? And then the later rounds, you're gonna hate me, GC, but I feel like Canelo is gonna run out of gas. Not to say he's not gonna win the rounds, but I think he's gonna be a little slower.
Mm.
I don't think he's gonna be hurt. I think it's gonna be the same as the Bivol fight, where he's just a little timid, just because he's a little older. He's obviously older than Munguia, and he just went toward the middle rounds. And I just see Munguia just being a little more active in the later rounds. And then depending if he gets the knockdown or not, it's either I have it as a split decision Canelo, but I'm actually leaning towards a split decision Munguia on this one.
Mm.
Now I can be totally wrong, but that's just how I see it. He's a younger fighter, obviously with less experience, but I think his style, both their styles are tailor made for each other. Obviously, Canelo is there to counter Munguia, as you know, because he's just going to come forward, and regardless of what you throw at him, he's just going to go forward. He might get caught, but at the same time, Canelo doesn't like volume. He does like volume punchers, but if he can't get him out like a B-ball, then that's when you lose in points. And that's how I kind of see it happening, because Munguia has been hurt, but every time he's hurt, he fights back. Now, can Canelo actually take him out? Prove us wrong, but I do have Munguia in a close split decision.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
What are you gonna say? Because you said something about Ryder.
Yes. So I basically gonna say, I think it comes down to styles make fights, right? Like they both beat Ryder, like obviously convincingly. Like Canelo beat him. I think Munguia stopped him, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, though, it comes down to style. Like, why couldn't Canelo stop Ryder? Why did Munguia stop Ryder? Munguia puts on more pressure and does more, really more combinations, more of a volume puncher.
Yeah.
That cumulative damage over that time with both heavy hands. Canelo has heavy hands, but I didn't watch the Ryder fight, so correct me if I'm wrong, but it probably wasn't a one-shot knockout, right?
Oh, no. He was getting got knocked down a few times.
Yeah, right. So it was cumulative over like a lot of punches. So I think it's hard to make the argument that like because Munguia was able to stop Ryder and Canelo wasn't.
Yeah.
It's just different because Canelo's gas tank is different. He fights a different pace.
Yeah.
And which brings me to your point too, is this fight, like at the end of the day, it's gonna be who executes their game plan better. And again, when it comes down to who can execute the game plan better, experience is gonna win.
Absolutely.
That's why I see Canelo. Like I just don't see Canelo losing this fight. But could be wrong.
This is why it makes it so interesting, because I'm usually just for Canelo, but when I'm like, damn. It's Mexican versus Mexican, and I think it's because he doesn't. We'll get into that later in terms of Benavidez. If it's not Benavidez, and I told this before, it has to be Munguia because of the style. Munguia will fight back, Canelo won't back.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's either youth versus experience, because we know Canelo's been in a lot of wars. It could all it takes is just one bad night for him, right? But yeah, man, I just can't wait to see this fight. Assuming Canelo wins, what do you think is next for him, though? GC, what do you think?
It takes one bad night. It could just be one bad night.
Yeah, assuming Canelo wins, though, who's next for him? Can you hear me?
I think okay, here's the thing. Canelo, like I said, Canelo's that final boss. He makes what? Oh, can you guys? Is it frozen?
I think it's a little delayed, but I think
Yes.
you're good. Go on.
I think it's whoever he wants. Like, hopefully, it's Benavidez. Canelo earned the right to call all the shots. He gets to call all the.
Yo, this is
Is my connection bad? Can you guys see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can see you. Can you hear us?
Is it coming through?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Did it? Is it delayed?
It seems like it's a bit delayed, no?
Oh shit! Yeah, it's delayed. I can't hear you. Yeah, I can hear you guys, but it's like I see you guys move your lips, and then I don't hear it until after.
delayed.
Hold on. Let's see.
Somehow
Let's
the
see.
connection got all delayed now. Oh, is that better now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's coming back.
Can you put your thumbs up? Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
hey,
Oh.
we're back
Okay,
now.
yeah, we're back. We're back.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
asked the question like 4 times. I'm like, yo, can you
Yeah,
hear?
there was like, yeah, I was like answering, and I'm like, yo, why are they looking like this?
Oh, this is
That
Yeah,
was hilarious.
So what I was saying was, I think like Canelo has earned the right to choose whatever he wants to do next. Like, so whether it be Benavidez, hopefully it is Benavidez. But I think at this point, like, who said it? I think Timothy Bradley said it. He was like, it's a pride thing at this point. Like Canelo, like everyone calls Canelo out. Everyone's like trying to call Canelo out because they know you fight Canelo once, your life changes forever. You get all the money, you get all the accolades, whatever. So Canelo's kind of like, yo, who do I give a shot? It's up to me, El Jefe now, right? Like he's the boss. He gets to choose. He calls all the shots, and we, as the viewers, we're at his mercy. So hopefully, it is Benavidez because I think that would be a really good fight. I think the fact that he's fighting Munguia first shows us that I think maybe him and his team are have Benavidez in their scope. It's just they want to see how things go with Munguia and then move from there. But Benavidez is a big dude.
he's moving
That
up.
guy's a weight bully. Yeah. So we'll see. Like I hope it is. I really hope it is because it doesn't sound like he wasn't going to entertain the idea of a Crawford fight either.
Mhm.
So who else really is there for Canelo? So I see him eventually going to Benavidez though. I do think he will just do it.
I agree. I think
Yeah.
there's be enough demand where people would be like, assuming he went against Munguia, everyone's just gonna be like, okay.
Yeah,
Benavidez-
exactly. Like
Yeah.
I think he just
Crawford.
as long as it's on his terms, he'll do it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you think that Benavidez fight is going to be the retirement fight, and that's it?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think with Canelo, like he's a guy who seems like he truly loves boxing.
Yeah.
I think it depends how the Benavidez fight goes. If he wins in astonishing fashion, then maybe he does. Maybe like that is how he'll be like, all right, bro, like I've conquered every mountain you guys have, like tossed out for me. You guys said I ducked this guy. You guys I say I ducked this guy. Now I go beat him. I beat him. What's left? At that point, like there is nothing left. Maybe he goes and rides off into the sunset and plays a lot of golf and shit, like because he likes that too. So, but I think if it's a close fight, they'll do it again. Like I don't know, it's tough to say. It's Canelo. Like I think he will probably want to ride off with a nice like kind of like the Floyd fight where Floyd picked Berto, showcase, bring everyone out, and then retire after that.
Actually disagree. I think Canelo's gonna be one of the rare guys that'll go out not on his own terms, just because he's gonna stay in for too long, just because he loves.
You think he will? Hey, yeah.
Like a man Pacquiao, where he tried to fight Errol Spence. Obviously, he tried to pass the torch, but it didn't happen. But I think that's just them as warriors, man. That's just old school. Everyone's trying to be like Floyd, want to retire undefeated. Canelo already has lost 2 losses.
Yeah.
So I think he'll go out where he's 45 years old and he's just gonna fight someone that's in his prime, and it probably maybe get him out of there, or outbox him for 12 rounds, and he's just gonna say, okay, that's it. But
No,
I don't. That that's Canelo's mindset as a boxer, because he just said it. Because they asked him in the interview he's been doing this for a lot, even at a young age, and they asked, does he have? He's like, I don't know, maybe 5, maybe 10 years, maybe 15. He doesn't know. But I actually think he's gonna go out, just getting beat up because he stayed for too long, which is totally normal for all these legends, man.
Yeah, bro, that would suck. I wouldn't want to watch that happen because I want to see Canelo retire on the right terms and be like, yo,
we all do.
I was a big Canelo fan through that whole era, like, yeah.
But hey, I think that won't define him as in his career though. Like Bernard Hopkins got knocked the hell out. Yep. Literally his last fight, just because he just wanted to fight. So that's just a lot of boxers, man.
That's true, man. I agree with that. So, man, we'll break this down again. We'll break this down. We'll break this fight down literally the day after. I'm
can't wait.
Right? I want to see how this whole fight card goes down. I want to see the outcome. I want to see if there's a knockout.
It's true.
Then Sunday, we'll break this down, GC. Thanks again for your time. We'll touch base soon. And until next time, guys, we are the opposite of
Let's do it.